Hey, Warrior Saints, Father Chris here, and welcome to Tuesday morning's Crucifixional live stream. It is, in the Orthodox Church today, it is what's called the Feast of the Indiction. September 1 is the beginning of the ecclesiastical church year. And so to all of our St. George family, and to all of our fellow Warrior Saints out there, and to anybody who may be watching, on behalf of the St. George pastoral team, Greg, Tisha, and myself want to wish you Happy New Year. Isn't that fun?
That was great. I liked it.
That is great. Happy New Year. It's a new month.
It is a new month. Thank you.
Come on back.
We just wanted to say Happy New Year. We thank you. We love you. And I wanted them to be on camera with me. I'm tired of it always being me. Tisha, thank you. Greg, thank you. Beautiful people, thank you. You know, we've been talking about, we just started talking about absentee fathers, right? Like what's going on in the world, we're hearing a lot about fathers. And so we decided to take it upon ourselves to teach about fatherhood and how essential and how important it is and what an impact that a father makes in the life of a child. Just a very quick recap, which we heard from yesterday, a lot of those statistics, you know, like 1 in 2, meaning 50% of marriages in America end in divorce. That is, I mean, you know, and I'm not going to get the numbers right here, but you'll understand the point. That means, therefore, that many of our children are not raised in a home with a father constantly present. You know, the children spend time between the two parents, or in some cases, the fathers vanish. We've also heard statistics like in some of our communities that up to 70% of these children are raised in homes without fathers present. And while we don't want to use that as to weaponize that and say, oh, see, and go against other, I don't care about that stuff. It is to say that absentee fatherhood is an essential problem that we've got to overcome, because our kids deserve it. I mean, our children are the future. They are the legacy that we leave behind. Our children are the future. If we don't teach them well, what's going to happen to what comes? What's going to happen to the next generation? We have to teach these children, and it's important, essential. It's just so essential that fathers are part of that equation. And like I said yesterday, moms, look, gals, you are of equal and maybe even greater import. Nobody's questioning that. So we don't want to leave our ladies out of the discussion. But we do want today to talk to fathers and to teach them how to lead and how to be good fathers. So before I go any further, I'm going to ask all of you beautiful people who are watching, you know, we would appreciate if you would share this. Help us get out there. If really the problem is what they say, and 70% of this community and 50% of that community and 43% of this community and whatever are raising children without fathers, and 1 in 2 divorces, 1 in 2 marriages end in divorce, if those are real things, then it's a real problem. And if there are 20 million people in this country who are raised in a home without a father, we better do something about it. And we are. We're trying hard. And so would you share us? Get us out there, make noise. I want you to know somebody even beautiful, and if they're watching, I thank you very much. Our good friend John from up in Northern California shared yesterday's teaching with Dr. Laura. Now, I don't know Dr. Laura, but I did a little bit of research about her stuff. You know, like even she's trying to make a difference. She's got this class that she's launched on her website, Marriage 101, where she's trying to teach, and I think from what I could gather, it's for the ladies to help do their part to establish good marriages. We love that. Thank you, Dr. Laura, for doing that. At the same time, we're going to do our part to help the fellas. So share us. I mean, get it out there so that maybe we can make a difference in the world. I don't know. I really don't know, but I'm hopeful, and I trust in God. And you know what? Look, let me just go on a quick excursus. God rocks. He's awesome. He can do things that the rest of us can't do. So maybe we just do our part and allow him to do the rest, and it works. That being said, fathers, we find this beautiful verse from chapter 27 of the book of Proverbs. And it says to us, listen here, this is Proverbs 27, verse 8. Like a bird that strays from the nest is a man who strays from his home. Like a bird who strays from the nest is a man who strays from his home. And think about what's going on. Like, what happens when the bird leaves its nest? I mean, it's out in the world, and it's flying, and it's looking, and it's seeing all the beautiful things, and landing in trees, or whatever birds do. But also out there are other birds that want to eat them, and snakes that may want to eat them, and other types of animals that may want to eat them. There's dry, in some locales where birds live. It's dry and barren. There may be no water. There may be no food. It's a land of waste. When they go out into the beautiful world, they also go out into danger. In the nest, the home is a familiar place. It is a place that is supposed to be fortified, protected. Many birds, actually different species of birds, build their nests in places that are inherently safe or inherently safer, right? Or protected. I even watched this one series where in this kind of weird, barren, desertish landscape, the birds build their nests way up on top of these pillars, like pillars of stone. Like it's a desert stone way up on top of like a skylight, so that the invaders, what do you want to call it? What's the word? Predators, thank you, Greg. Predators can't climb up there and eat the baby birds. Like, the home is supposed to be a place of safety. And why is it safe? What's safe about that nest versus out in the world? The safety comes in the inherent, safety of the place that it's built, but also because there is a figure there to help take care of the young birds as they return home, their father, right? The father is bigger, stronger than the baby birds, able to ward off those predators. And he's also had some experience dealing with other predators. And hopefully this father bird is trying to be a good father. Like, if I can say it about birds, I don't know if this, but they want to learn, and they want to grow, and they want to pass and transmit that, to teach their children to be a brighter future. Do you understand that? To teach their baby birds how to live and pass on their seed to the next generation. The bird who leaves that comfort, who leaves that safety, is experiencing the world, which we all must, but is also in a world of danger, a world of possibility, and a world of potential death. The safety of the home, where the father is present, is essential to the life, the longevity of this bird. I mean, you can see that's kind of what, in a long roundabout way, what Proverbs is telling us in chapter 27, verse 8, that the bird who leaves his nest is going out there, but he's leaving the safety and the instruction of a father. And really, I think that's a message for you and I today with all of those statistics that we're talking about. Like, if they're legit, and it really is chaos out there like we're seeing and hearing that it is, then a father is never more essential than he is today. A father is never more essential in the life of a child than he is today. And fathers, look, let me just say it. If you're going to have sex with a woman and create a child, you better be prepared to be that child's father, right? Like, I mean, it's part of it. I think I'm just tired of and done with that. I'll just sleep with a woman if she has a child. Don't worry about it. It's not my problem. Yes, it's your problem. That is half your blood and DNA. That is half you. And you have that responsibility. Look, if you're big enough to lie with a woman and create a child, you're big enough, man. It's time to take on that responsibility to help raise that child. And to raise that child does not simply mean that you throw a few bucks at her at the end of every month to make, all the bills meet, right? To make ends meet, to pay all the bills. It means that you, like Proverbs 27, are present to protect and instruct and teach the child. So 2 types of presence that I want to talk about today. First, physically present, being there, being in the home, coming home at the end of the workday, or being there when the child comes home from their school day, whatever your career may be, fellas. You have to be there. You have to physically be present. You have to be there. And look, let me just say it. Like, I'm going to get creamed for this one, but look, if you're not married, marry that girl. Don't bring that child into the world without a father to be present. And I know what some of you are saying, you don't just get married. Yes, you do get married for the sake of the child. You got to do it right. That's a conversation we'll have another day. But let's be really clear. The data is on my side. Children who are raised without fathers, drug use up, suicide use up, incarceration up, depression up. I mean, what else do you want me to keep going? All of those things, it shows us that a child raised without a father, you already know, right? So the father better be there. The reason I talk about marriage is because that's the natural way that a family, the nuclear family, is supposed to be. A child should have a mother and a father, and they should be together and love one another. And that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. But for today, before I get too far off track and be present, brother. You have to be there. You have to be there. The child needs you physically, not just to swing a big stick and to keep predators out of the house, but to teach. To teach the child about how to live. One of the things that I spend an inordinate amount of time doing with my two beautiful daughters is instructing them. So much so that they're tired of me and they can't take it much more. But let me tell you, I'm biased, I got it. But those two young ladies, rock stars, rock solid. They're ferocious lions. Don't meet my daughters alone in a dark alley. They will gut you like a stuck pig because they're strong, they're intelligent, they're ferocious, they're compassionate, they're God-fearing women, and they have morals and values and they have certain beliefs, and you will not be able to make them transgress that. They are ferocious lions. I'm clearly proud of them, but it's because I spend all the time that I can teaching them. Because, first, I'm physically there. I'm here today working, they're in school. We will meet together tonight and we will sit at the table and have dinner and we'll talk. My girls are older now, they can text, so we're texting and emailing all the day. I mean, it's like we're together, physically together. Which leads to the second part of presence that I talked about, to be present. Being in the house physically in the house is step number one. However, if you are physically in the house, at the same time that your children are physically in the house or your wife is physically in the house, but you are mentally not, and emotionally not, and spiritually not, you're dealing with your phone, talking on the phone, emailing, texting, consumed in your screens of any type, watching TV, whatever it may be, you're not present. And I'm condemning myself first because I do a sort of good job, but not great. Each day I want to get better at it. But you have to also be present because what do they need? Your mind. They need your mind more than they need your money, more than they need your bread, and more than they need the clothes you give them. They need your mind and they need your love. They need you to teach them how to navigate the things of life. Remember that bird. As that little bird is going out into the world to find the beauty, but to face the monsters, the father bird instructs them somehow by his example, by whatever. Maybe I don't even know how they do it, but they teach those. Likewise, you have to teach your children. You can't expect them to do. Like, look, remember Greg? We talked about this yesterday. Like, he's got a newborn. She's a month old, a little over a month old. Right? Like, she doesn't know how to burp to get the gas out of her body. Right? I mean, like, we have to teach them everything. Right? They need your mind to teach them. The second part of that second part is to give them love, right? Esteem, to tell them they matter. I'm not a part of this self-esteem movement that says that wrong is right and that just no matter what you tell them that they're good. No, that's silliness too. But you teach them and you encourage them and you love them. Look, I say to my girls all the time, you screwed up, but I still love you. But hey, you know what else I say? You screwed up in a good way because you were trying to do this. It didn't work out, but great job on the effort. Proud of you that you tried. Proud of you that you didn't just sit on the sidelines and sit there stuck with inaction. You got after it. Like, that's awesome, right? And I praise that, even if it doesn't always work out the best, the way that they intended to, or work out the best way. They need your encouragement, your love, your drive, your pushing. They need a father to be a father, right? And to do that, you have to be present, physically and emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You have to be with them and you have to be with them. So I really want to throw that out there kind of like as a challenge. Let's throw down the gauntlet, fellas. And people, I want you to share this. I mean, all of our warrior saints, get out there and share this. Tell you know somebody who needs to watch this. Let's throw down the gauntlet. Fathers, it's time to step up. It's time to step up, right? Like, it's time to be, if I may do this, and I hope I don't embarrass, but if I do, it's a you problem. It's time to be like Sammer, right? Sammer's the man. He's probably watching right now. Sammer stepped up and does the business. And you know what? He's raised a fine son, a son to be proud of. And let me tell you, it's time for us to step up and follow that. As fathers, to be there and to be there. To be there physically and to be there emotionally. Sometimes it's hard. We don't always know. I certainly don't always know how to be a good father, but I'm telling you, I'm grinding and learning and studying every day. Because to be a father is ultimately to be a crucifixional leader. Someone who, as to quote Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew, is a light to the world. A light that tells us where to walk. Someone to say, that's the way to go. That's the way to be. Someone that I want to follow. And you can be that crucifixional leader as well. We've got a series about that on the Way of the Warrior Saint. I'll talk about that in 1 second. But like, look, here's the point. I keep saying to you about being a leader, you don't have to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company that has billions of dollars and gazillions of employees. That you could be that, but you could also be a leader at home as a father. I would even say more important, more essential to be the leader as a father than any other type of leader. We will help you do that. It's really simple, really simple. All you have to do is visit warriorsaints.org. And when you get to this website, you're going to see a whole description of the Way of the Warrior Saint. The Way of the Warrior Saints are online library that teaches courses about how to be a crucifixional leader so that you can be the father you want to be. And it's really accessible. It's really easy. It's less, when you total it all out, it's less than $1 a day. The promo code that's on the screen makes it like, I don't even know, 70 cents a day. I mean, it's less than 20, it's about $20 a month. Come on, man, you're worth that. And your kids, you being the father who leads, your kids are worth that, right? Sign up today. Like, just stop fooling around. Let's just put all that stuff aside and become the men and the fathers, and we're going to talk about tomorrow, the husbands that God has called us to be, so that we can be a light to the world, so that when people say, oh, look at that, that's someone I want to follow. That is someone who is a crucifixional leader. Join us today. Sign up for the Way of the Warrior Saint. We're glad to have you in the movement with us. We will see you tomorrow, where we are going to talk about fathers as fathers/husbands as examples for our children. Have a great day. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow. And until then, keep walking on the Way of the Warrior Saint.